Alright, scales 3 notes per string. This is a really useful trick to learn here. I would recommend using the fingering I'm using here. Some people might do it this way, but I'd recommend this way. That's the one that I find works best. So let me go through and show you this, and then I'll show you some of the reasons why it's useful. So 5, 7, 9 here, and then 5, 7, 9, and 6, 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, and then 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10. You can go up there if you want, but right now we're just sticking to 3 notes per string. So you could start on any note in the scale and go through and do 3 notes per string. Like say you start here. So I just started on that second note and did that same idea of 3 notes per string, continuing up the scale. And if you do that, it'll always be one of those 3 shapes. You're not going to end up with a shape other than this shape, or this shape. So you should always be on the lookout for one of those shapes as you move from string to string. But practicing these scales in this way it helps you come up with some neat patterns that you can put into your playing. For one thing, it'll help you play things really fast. If you can do things as hammer-ons, like that. And if you play them all as hammer-ons, then you can. I mean, you don't even have to use your right hand at all, or you can just use it a little bit. Use it for the first note in each series of 3. And so, doing those hammer-on patterns of 3, you can play some really fast things. Everybody will think you're really good if you do some of that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that impresses people. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I think the general public is impressed by a bunch of fast notes in a row. So I've been thinking recently it's good to practice playing fast so you can impress people. Anyway, yeah. So that's one thing that's useful with these. You can also might give you some ideas for playing some chords here. Some of these weird 2-note chords. Those are just a series of fourths. Or you can do some patterns like. If you do something like that. Coming up with little patterns like that to put into your playing can give some logic to your melodic lines as you go through playing things. If you have little patterns, gives the ear something to listen for and latch on to. But I think that the most useful, or one of the most useful things about these 3 notes per string scales is the way you can do those hammer-ons. And also it helps you see the guitar a little in a different way than you might see it if you're just playing these other patterns. It's always good to be looking for new ways to see the guitar. And yeah, the main reason I came here today was to just show you this, and the idea that you can go through and start on any of these notes. I need to practice this myself, it seems. But notice how I'm always using, it's either this shape, that shape, or that shape. It's always either a half step and a whole step then a half step, or 2 whole steps on any of those strings. Anyway, start by just practicing this. Yeah, so three major scales, 3 notes per string.